and welcome to another edition of the world's smallest full force news burst, brought to you by generalsjoes.com, with me as your host Chris, officially licensed McLeod, aka Diagnostic 80. Joining me today to discuss the reveal of Super Impulse's world's smallest G.I. Joes is Justin, world's smallest Bell. So without further ado, let's get stuck into this incredibly tiny news burst. Earlier today, an image popped up on the Instagram account Juegos, Juguetes y Coleccionables, apologies for the terrible pronunciation there, showing what appears to be early package samples of Super Impulse's world's smallest G.I. Joes, Duke and Snake Eyes. It was also posted on the same Instagram account that Transformers and Power Rangers will be getting similar treatment, with an image of Bumblebee, Starscream and the Pink Power Ranger on the show. With product for G.I. Joe at an absolute minimum currently, it was nice to see that Hasbro is still getting the license out there with these cute little figures, and follows on from the world's smallest G.I. Joe from a few years ago. It looks like we'll be getting the two figures for now, but who knows, perhaps there will be more not pictured or even another wave to come if these sell well. Justin, happy to see Joe on shelves again, or just another dilution of the brand without a solid retail presence currently?
Yeah, I don't know, just kind of, I mean, anytime you have G.I. Joe product on shelves, it's a good thing, I guess, but I will admit I'm not all that invested or thrilled about these particular items. I don't really, not really into them, but, you know, anytime somebody can walk by and see the brand hanging on pegs, I guess it's a good thing.
What I must say is that I really did like the thought of those Gentle Giant tiny figures they did ages ago. I think it was a con exclusive, wasn't it, for when they were doing the big Joes, and I like the thought of them, those really tiny ones, but I'm not even sure, I don't think anything really kind of came after that with them. No. Now, the world's smallest figures, it looks like there's neck articulation and I think shoulder articulation, and that's it. Yeah. I don't think there's any leg articulation necessarily. I can't see any on the image.
Well, it doesn't look like it on the figure. I mean, the original one, like the original kind of 60s, themed one, had some ball joint hips, but
yeah, it did, didn't it?
I can't tell if these do or not.
I'm hoping it'll follow the same articulation as those old ones, definitely. Yeah. I mean, do you expect to see more characters, or do you think it's just going to be Duke and Snake Eyes?
I would think so. I mean, I don't remember what retail was for the world's smallest, that original 60s kind of Adventure Team Transformer, Adventure Team G.I. Joe. But I mean, at that price point, I would imagine they'd do more characters. I mean, the only thing I can think of is if they really want to do the distinctive individual characters, they can't reuse a whole lot of tooling. So I don't know if that's something that they're worried about or not, or if it matters with these particular items.
That's a good point, actually. It's not like they're going to kind of use Destro very, very often, or
right.
Yeah, totally. Right. Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're just doing this as kind of a trial run to see how things go, and maybe they'll go more from there. I would imagine they're going to do more than just Duke and Snake Eyes, but who knows?
Who would you like to see? And I've got a feeling it's going to be Hit and Run, but who would you like?
No, I mean, that'd be cool. I doubt they'll ever get to Hit and Run, but
they'll do Hit and Run regular, Tiger Force, that like unreleased Night Force version.
They'll do the things the club did in like a 6-month period. It's like 8 different hit runs.
Wolf Squad. You'll get a Wolf Squad one as well.
But I mean, yeah, it would make sense to do some Cobra characters and some stuff like that. I mean, if anything, the kitschy nature of these, could be neat for, buying 10 or 12 different Cobra troops and lining them up on a shelf. And it's not going to be the same scale, obviously, as the full 4-inch figures, but it could still be kind of a neat little display that, kind of attracts the eye, I guess. But
do you like, for me, like, I love I do like the thought of mini collectible items and stuff, but the packaging has always kind of made me a little bit, it's more of like, they've got this huge amount of plastic, and then this tiny figure in the middle of it all. And I know they're they're doing like almost very similar packaging for every product they have,
right?
So it's just kind of like keeps everything very unique, very standardized,
right?
But I do feel like that there's almost a lot of wasted space around them, and it's awkward as well. And it's like, I mean, yeah, you could collect them, pull them out, and then just have them loose.
Yeah.
But I feel like that does hinder my enjoyment of the collectability aspect of it.
It's not the best presentation. Yeah.
No, I think I'd like it if it was either, even if not blind bagged, but if it was like smaller packaging where you could get, I don't know, where it just became more collectible, more kind of collector friendly, I suppose. I'm saying that, but it is effectively collector friendly packaging, because you can open that up, get it out and repackage it again. You can kind of put it back
Right.
together again. But that does have that does have an effect on me, and I do like the small collectible aspect of it, though.
Yeah. I mean, I can see the appeal there for sure. You know, it's not really my thing, but I could understand why some people might be drawn to that, might be interested in that.
Did you pick the original up?
No, I did not.
Okay, I grabbed that one, I think, from Cracker Barrel when it first appeared. I think it was in Cracker Barrel when it first appeared. And then apparently I've been watching, I shout out to Patrick Stewart and Philip Donnelly, who do Articulated Points, the video podcast show. And they've done a whole segment on the world's smallest G.I. Joe figures. And there were variations that I didn't even know were out there. So shout out to those guys. But yeah, I mean, I picked that first one up, and obviously not realising there was a variation of it. And this, I do like the thought that they're doing Duke and Snake Eyes, and that does lead me to believe that we'll see more of them.
Yeah, I mean, those are kind of the cornerstones, I guess, of the G.I. Joe team itself, and then where they go from there, you know, anybody's guess. You know, you got to figure it's probably Cobra Commander and Destro and, you know, characters like that.
And finally, how does this affect Hasbro's Water Park for opening day?
I mean, it's going to have a huge effect.
Every time. Every single time.
If Cracker Barrel doesn't stock like 1,000 of these minifigures, you can just flush that water park right down the
Well, this has actually turned into the world's smallest burst, because we're going to be finished very, very soon. Justin, thank you for jumping on and chatting the world's smallest G.I. Joes. Really appreciate it, mate.
Sure, no problem.
That's it for this instalment of the world's smallest Full Force news burst. Thank you to my awesome co-host, Justin Bell. See you next time, and as always, Full Force, but much, much smaller. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on Twitter @TheFullForce, liking the Facebook page facebook.com/TheFullForce, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on either of those platforms with feedback or questions. We have also started a Patreon page, so if you want to see your name up in lights on these videos or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/TheFullForce podcast, or click the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.